Alright, so for my straight brows, I stopped doing them down because I always felt like they were super long and I could never, you know, get it out. So I started shaving my bottom part of my brow. As you can see, this entire part is gone, nice and, gone. I don't know. But yeah, so this is what I start with. I would start with your brow pomade or your pencil or whatever you use. I use the Anastasia Dip Brow in the color dark brown. I'm going to use my Tarte angled brush. And then first, brush out your brows. Get them like the shape that you would want them, if that makes sense. The ideal shape. I like them like this, a little bit of baby hair action, not baby hair, front hair, baby hair, whatever you want to call it. But yeah. And then dip a little bit at first because you don't want your line at the bottom to be like super duper dark. So you just want it there, like not the dark color. So I'm gonna start and just underline. Let me make sure you can see. All right, underline the brow. All right, once you're like that far, I'm anxious because I feel like I'm gonna mess it up really bad, and then people are gonna get on my ass. But it's fine. It's whatever. Once you're here, decide how you want it to look. Like if you're like going for straight out, a little slanted, like what is your ideal bottom part? I personally like it straight out. So I'm gonna I actually use my hand and like hold my face back, which I know is like, I don't know, it's like annoying, but yeah, I just hold my face back like this just so I can get like a nice line out to like how I want it to look. And then just like, not like, don't do that. Oh my god, that's bad. Alright, if you mess up, just try again. So like straight out. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to touch it up. You're going to fix it with concealer, everything. Just something that is like a guideline up to where you want it to go. And as you can see, mine is a little high considering my brow is there. But it's okay. We're going to fix it. No worries. Alright, so now that you're that far, I would take a little bit more of your brow stuff. And then this is where you like actually... And I mean by a little bit more, like a lot. Not a lot, but enough that it's going to show up because this is where you start to fill in. I'm going to take a little bit and use this side and start to map out. And this is where you decide if you want like it like curvy, like a cut corner, like how you want your brow to look. I'm more of a like, curved kind of thing I like to have going on. And try to keep it straight. Because if you go down, you're going to mess up your straight vibe. And it's going to start to get like rectangular, you know what I'm saying? Like it's going to start looking crazy. But we're going to fix that later. Yeah, I know it looks crazy now, but we'll fix it. So, this is what I have so far. It looks absolutely ridiculous. But this is where I use my finger, and if your brow stuff isn't really like as like pliable, I guess, you can use like a makeup wipe or something like that. But I just start to try to thin it out so I don't have to use so much concealer when I get to that part. And then, I'm going to go back in and just continue I usually do that like 100 times until I get it to like the, desired outness. Is that even, like, I don't even know, but you know what I mean. Hopefully you know what I mean. I say you know what I mean as if you're thinking how I think. Oh gosh. Alright. And I like to hold my face, like, again, just so I can try to get it, like, straight out and even and stuff. So that's how that's looking. Kind of looks a little crazy. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy I don't have makeup on. Like, what the hell? Anyways. This kind of looks a little busted. It's okay. We're going to move on. And then another thing people ask me, like, how I do is, like, how I do, like, the natural hairs in the front, which I'm really not that good at, but I do it, I guess, just to get that natural, you know, brow. But for that, you want to make sure you have very little product on your brush, but then also enough so that it's going to show up. Because if it's, like, super, like, if it's nothing there and you keep, like, doing it, it's going to, like, fill it in and it's going to look blocky. So you want to make sure you have enough to where it's not super duper dark, but then it's not, like, you know, like, disappearing. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. So then you're going to take it at this angle, like this, and just, like, flick up. And you can do how many you want, or, like, how dark and thick you want. Like, I just kind of, because this entire, like, half front part of my brow is kind of missing, like, so I just flick up, and, you know, you can get a little bold with it, go a little far in, and it's gonna look crazy, but that's fine, because you're gonna fix it up with concealer later, so I don't really like to try to worry too much about that. So right now it's kind of looking a little cattywampus. Is that a word? Cattywampus? I don't know. Anyways. Alright, but this is where we use concealer. So I'm going to get my angled brush. Why didn't I get that out before I started filming? I don't know. Alright, so this little, it's not an angled brush, it's a flat brush. Kind of, I don't know. Like, whatever. And whatever concealer I'm using, I'm going to use this Pro Conceal by LA Girl. It doesn't have a cap on it, but that's fine, whatever, it still works. And then get a little bit, because you don't want too much, because then it's going to be, like, super cakey under your brow, so don't do that. And this, you're going to clean up the front so you get that super duper sharp, like, line. Alright, so like that. And then, you know, move along to the rest of your brow. Alright, so this is how we are here. And then I try to, like, thin this out, because you want it to be super sharp. So, like, you just go straight out, like. And that should, like, cut it pretty good. Only thing is mine's kind of fucked up, so it's not looking how I want it. But this is, of course, fixable. And then I'm going to go over the top with the rest of the concealer that is on it. And, you know, kind of clean up the front. And I don't like to go all the way on the top part, because I still want those natural hairs. So I just kind of go half. And, you know, clean it up a little bit. So, alright, so I changed the angle so you could see better. But pretty much all I did was fill in the end a little bit more so it'd be more opaque and less sheer. And then I did my baby hairs a little bit darker. And that's about it. Blended the front out with my finger. That entire thing. Last thing I would do is, you know, blend out the concealer around your brow. Of course, I do my brows before anything. So after this, I would do foundation. So I don't have to worry about the lightness around the brow. But that's about it. These little hairs, if you're like me and you can't commit to fully shaving your entire bottom half of your brow, that's gonna happen. You could, like, pluck them, But that's what it looks like on me. If you don't have brows that go straight down and you're already like this, then you don't have a problem and you should be able to do this. But these brows are super duper good for eyeshadow and eyeliner wears because you can do super long wings and super thick eyeshadow and nice looks and stuff because you have a lot of eye space and a lot of room. And if you just like that straight brow vibe. Alright, I'm just gonna film a quick outro. That was my straight brow tutorial, you know, did them both. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, that whole thing. Add me on Snapchat. Follow me on Instagram. You know, fuck with me. Thank you. Watch my last video. Look out for the next one. Bye.